Greetings from the Alps. This is not your ordinary Switzerland guide. I've gathered facts that are unusual, surprising, and rarely mentioned anywhere else. More content awaits in the top right corner, in the description, and right below this video. And don't be shy. Drop corrections or more fun facts in the comments. I answer everyone. Fact 1. Switzerland. Expensive, but with remarkable living standards. Switzerland consistently ranks among the world's most expensive countries, and stepping into cities like Zurich or Zurich, in German, Genève or Genève, and Basel quickly confirms it. Everyday costs, such as rent, groceries, and eating out, are easily double compared to many European countries. A modest meal in a restaurant can cost around 25 to 30 American dollars, which is roughly 23 to 28 Swiss francs. Monthly rent for a one-bedroom apartment in the city center often goes beyond 2,000 American dollars, nearly 1,900 Swiss francs. But what makes this expense acceptable for many is the extremely high standard of living. Salaries are some of the best globally, with the average monthly wage often above 6,000 American dollars or close to 5,600 Swiss francs. Healthcare, public safety, and infrastructure are top class, and the breathtaking alpine views come as a bonus. For the locals, the cost is high, but the quality of life feels worth every franc. Fact 2. The midnight toilet flush ban. One of Switzerland's quirkiest regulations surprises many newcomers. In several apartment buildings, flushing the toilet after midnight is strictly forbidden. The reason lies in the country's strong respect for peace and quiet, known locally as Ruhezeit. Because Swiss homes are often built with thinner walls than one might expect, even the sound of running water can disturb neighbors during sleeping hours. While this rule might seem exaggerated to outsiders, for the Swiss, it reflects a deeper cultural value of consideration and community living. Landlords in Zurich or Bern often include this regulation in rental contracts, and breaking it could technically lead to complaints. Some municipalities also restrict vacuuming, doing laundry, or even taking a bath late at night. So while Switzerland is high-tech and ultra-modern, it still treasures an old-fashioned sense of quiet respect, proof that harmony is as valuable as money in this alpine nation. Fact 3. Einstein and Switzerland's Nobel legacy. Switzerland has long been a magnet for brilliant minds, and its connection to Nobel Prize winners is remarkable. Albert Einstein, perhaps the most famous scientist of all time, developed his groundbreaking theory of relativity while living in Bern. In fact, he worked at the Swiss Patent Office, and it was during those years that he published his Annus Mirabilis papers in 1905. Switzerland has also hosted and nurtured many other Nobel laureates in fields like chemistry, medicine, and physics. The country's universities in Zurich, Genève, and Lausanne have provided an academic home to international geniuses seeking stability and freedom. Switzerland's neutrality and strong academic institutions created a safe haven for research, especially during turbulent times in Europe. Today, Einstein's apartment in Bern is preserved as a museum, reminding visitors that Switzerland was not only a land of mountains and banks, but also a birthplace of ideas that changed the entire world. Fact 4. Public transport, the Swiss way of moving. In Switzerland, most people rely on public transport rather than cars, and for good reason. The country's trains, trams, and buses are famous for being precise to the minute. Swiss punctuality is no myth. A train scheduled at 12:02 will leave exactly then, not a second later. The Swiss Federal Railways, called SBB in German, CFF in French, and FFS in Italian, operates one of the densest networks in the world. Commuters in Zurich or Genève can use a single ticket to travel seamlessly between trams, buses, and even ferries. Monthly passes are not cheap, often costing over 150 American dollars, around 140 Swiss francs, but the quality justifies the price. Trains even run through mountains and under glaciers thanks to impressive tunnels. For the Swiss, public transport is not just an option, it is a trusted way of life. Fact 5. Switzerland's impressively low unemployment. Switzerland enjoys one of the lowest unemployment rates in the entire world, a fact that often surprises outsiders. While many European countries struggle with joblessness, the Swiss rate usually stays below 3%, even in times of global economic uncertainty. This stability comes from a combination of factors: strong industries such as banking, pharmaceuticals, precision engineering, and tourism, along with a highly skilled workforce. The apprenticeship system is also key. Many young Swiss train directly within companies, ensuring practical skills that match real jobs. Cities like Zurich and Genève are international hubs, attracting multinational corporations that offer thousands of well-paid positions. Salaries are high, with average monthly earnings above 6,000 American dollars, or about 5,600 Swiss francs. While the cost of living is equally steep, employment opportunities remain plentiful. For many expats, this balance makes Switzerland one of the most reliable places in the world to work and build a future. Fact 6. The Swiss love for mineral water. If there is one drink that defines Switzerland, besides wine or hot chocolate, it is mineral water. The Swiss are among the highest consumers of bottled and natural spring water in the world. Across the country, fountains provide free, crystal-clear water straight from mountain sources, and locals proudly drink it every day. In Zurich, there are over 1,200 public fountains, each delivering water as fresh as any bottle. Supermarkets also offer dozens of varieties, sparkling, still, lightly carbonated, sourced from different alpine springs. Annual per-person consumption often exceeds 400 litres, far higher than in neighbouring countries. The quality is so exceptional that some Swiss even prefer tap water over expensive brands, though a bottle in a restaurant can still cost 4 to 5 American dollars, around 4 Swiss francs. This passion for pure water reflects a cultural connection to the mountains, where glaciers and snowmelt have nourished the land for centuries. Fact 7. Recycling as a way of life. Switzerland takes environmental responsibility to another level, and recycling here is not just encouraged, it is mandatory. Every household is required to separate paper, glass, plastics, and even compostable waste. Failing to do so can result in heavy fines, and the Swiss authorities take this rule seriously. In cities like Lausanne or Basel, people purchase official trash bags that are specially taxed, which discourages unnecessary waste. Items such as aluminum cans and PET bottles are returned at collection points, often inside supermarkets. The result is impressive. Recycling rates in Switzerland are among the highest in the world, often exceeding 80%. For the Swiss, this isn't just a law, but a reflection of their culture of order and respect for nature. Living surrounded by the pristine Alps and over 7,000 lakes makes environmental care a duty, not an option. Fact 8. The Swiss flag and its unique confusion. Switzerland's national flag is instantly recognizable, a bold white cross on a red square background. But unlike most countries, this flag is perfectly square, one of only two in the world. On airplanes and ships, however, the Swiss do not use this version. Instead, they fly the elongated state banner, which looks like a traditional rectangle to follow international standards. Interestingly, the Swiss flag is often confused with the emblem of the Red Cross. The connection is no coincidence. The Red Cross was founded in Genève, and its symbol is exactly the reverse of the Swiss flag, red cross on a white background. While the resemblance causes occasional mix-ups, for the Swiss, it is a point of pride that their national colors inspired the world's most recognized humanitarian organization. This small but striking detail shows how a simple design carries both national identity and global meaning. Fact 9. Switzerland's legendary banking system. For centuries, Switzerland has been associated with safe, secretive, and ultra-stable banks. The origins go back to the 18th century, when wealthy Europeans sought a secure place to store fortunes away from wars and political turmoil. Swiss banking laws introduced strict secrecy, making accounts almost untouchable by foreign authorities. This reputation attracted everyone from royalty to businesses, and unfortunately, even a few shady figures. Today, rules have changed. International pressure forced Switzerland to relax banking secrecy and adopt stricter transparency laws. Yet Swiss banks in Zurich and Genève still manage trillions of American dollars in assets. They remain symbols of stability, with customers trusting the Swiss franc as one of the world's strongest currencies. Modern banking in Switzerland focuses not only on wealth management, but also on innovation in finance. Even with tighter laws, the image of the Swiss vault, solid, discreet, and reliable, remains alive in global imagination. Fact 10. The Alpine Cattle Parade. Every autumn, Switzerland turns farming into a colorful festival as cows descend from the high alpine pastures to the valleys. This centuries-old tradition is called Abzug in German-speaking regions and is celebrated with great pride. The cows are decorated with huge flower crowns, polished bells, and embroidered harnesses, turning the journey into a moving parade. Villages in Bern or Appenzell welcome them with music, dancing, and local markets selling cheese and crafts. What began as a practical seasonal move, bringing cattle down before snow covered the mountains, has become a cultural highlight that draws tourists from across the world. Farmers show off their healthiest animals, and communities honor the bond between humans, animals, and the land. It is not just a spectacle, but also a living reminder that agriculture remains deeply rooted in Swiss identity, even in the age of high finance and technology. Fact 11. A land of 7,000 lakes. Switzerland may be famous for its mountains, but it is also a country of water. Despite its relatively small size, it holds more than 7,000 lakes, ranging from giant ones like Lake Genève and Lake Zurich to tiny alpine tarns hidden high in the mountains. These lakes are not only stunning to look at, but also vital for the nation's drinking water supply, energy production, and recreation. Many are fed by glaciers, which gives them their remarkable blue and turquoise colors. Swimming in lakes is a national pastime, and in cities like Lausanne, people jump straight into the lake after work. Some lakes, like Lake Lucerne, are surrounded by picturesque towns and history, making them top tourist destinations. The sheer abundance of fresh water shows why Switzerland is often described as Europe's reservoir, a natural treasure that sustains life and beauty alike. Fact 12. CERN, the world's biggest physics lab. Switzerland is home to CERN, the European Organization for Nuclear Research, located just outside Genève. Founded in 1954, it has become the largest and most advanced particle physics laboratory on the planet. The most famous machine here is the Large Hadron Collider, a 27-kilometer underground ring where protons are smashed together at near light speed. This is where scientists confirmed the existence of the Higgs boson in 2012, one of the greatest discoveries in modern physics. Thousands of researchers from all over the world work at CERN, making it not just a Swiss institution, but a truly global one. Interestingly, CERN also gave birth to the World Wide Web in 1989, when Tim Berners-Lee created it to help scientists share information. For Switzerland, hosting CERN shows how a small alpine country can play a giant role in unlocking the secrets of the universe. Fact 13. One of the world's highest average salaries. Switzerland is often ranked among the countries with the very best wages. The average monthly salary here reaches above 6,000 American dollars, or about 5,600 Swiss francs. In cities like Zurich or Genève, even ordinary jobs in retail or services pay significantly more than in most European countries. But these high wages are necessary, since Switzerland is also one of the most expensive places to live. A barista, for example, may earn 4,000 American dollars, nearly 3,800 Swiss francs, while rent for a one-bedroom apartment can easily exceed 2,000 American dollars. Still, with strong social security, high job security, and excellent healthcare, the balance often feels fair. Expats are especially drawn to Switzerland because they can enjoy financial stability along with the safety, cleanliness, and stunning alpine scenery that make daily life so appealing. Fact 14. Direct democracy in action. Switzerland is one of the very few countries in the world where direct democracy is truly practiced. Citizens do not only vote for politicians, but also directly on laws and policies several times a year. Through a system called Volksabstimmung, the people can accept or reject decisions made by Parliament. If 50,000 signatures are collected, a referendum must be held, giving ordinary citizens a powerful voice. In Bern, posters before votes fill the streets, with campaigns run just like in national elections. Issues can range from building projects to healthcare, pensions, or even immigration laws. Some proposals may seem small, but they reflect the Swiss idea that governance should always stay close to the people. For expats, it is surprising to see how often ballots arrive in the mailbox. This culture of participation makes Swiss politics one of the most transparent and people-centered systems in the modern world. Fact 15. Fondue from peasant dish to national icon. When people think of Swiss food, the first image is often a bubbling pot of melted cheese called fondue. Today, it is celebrated as a national delicacy, but its origins were much humbler. In the 18th century, Alpine peasants created fondue as a way to use hardened bread and leftover cheese during the cold winter months. By melting the cheese with a little wine and garlic, they made a hearty, filling meal. The name comes from the French word fondre, meaning to melt. Over time, fondue evolved into a social ritual where friends and families gather around a shared pot, dipping bread with long forks. In places like Fribourg or Lausanne, traditional recipes still use local cheeses like Gruyere. What began as survival food is now an international symbol of Swiss hospitality, proving that even peasant meals can rise to gourmet fame. Fact 16. Switzerland's world-changing inventions. Switzerland may be famous for its Alps and chocolate, but it also gave humanity inventions that changed daily life across the globe. The Swiss Army knife, first produced by Victorinox and Wenger, became the ultimate symbol of practicality, carried by soldiers, hikers, and even astronauts. Velcro, invented by engineer Georges de Mestral after noticing burrs sticking to his clothes and dog, is now used in shoes, medical devices, and spacesuits. Cellophane, created by Jacques Brandenburger, revolutionized packaging with its clear, protective layer. Aluminum foil, first industrially produced in Switzerland, became a household essential from kitchens to laboratories. Swiss researchers also pioneered quartz clock technology in the 1960s, setting new standards of precision that shaped modern watches and electronics. From mountain villages to outer space, Swiss ingenuity has quietly transformed how the world eats, works, and measures time. Fact 17. A bunker for every Swiss citizen. Switzerland is one of the only countries in the world that can literally shelter its entire population in case of war or disaster. Since the Cold War era, laws required every new residential building to include a nuclear-proof bunker or residents to have access to one nearby. As a result, there are now over 360,000 shelters across the country, providing more spaces than the population itself. In cities like Bern and Basel, apartment buildings often have reinforced underground rooms, stocked with ventilation systems and thick steel doors. Some bunkers are large enough to house entire neighborhoods, with kitchens and medical areas. While these shelters are rarely used for their original purpose, many are repurposed as wine cellars, storage spaces, or even creative studios. The existence of this vast underground network reflects Switzerland's culture of preparedness and self-reliance, a hidden world beneath the Alps. Fact 18. Swiss children grow up trilingual. In Switzerland, speaking more than one language is not unusual. It is the norm. Children often grow up learning 3 languages during their school years, reflecting the country's 4 official tongues: German, French, Italian, and Romansh. For example, a child in Zurich may start with Swiss German at home, study High German in school, and then learn French as a second language by the age of 10. In Genève, kids naturally begin with French, but German is introduced early, and many also pick up English later on. This multilingual education creates a population that can easily switch between cultures and regions, a skill that benefits both daily life and international business. By the time they finish secondary school, many Swiss teenagers are comfortably fluent in at least 3 languages. It is one of the reasons Switzerland thrives as a global hub for diplomacy, finance, and science, despite its small size. Fact 19. The cow, Switzerland's unofficial national animal. Although Switzerland has never officially declared a national animal, most people instinctively associate the country with the cow. Strolling through alpine valleys, it is almost impossible not to hear the deep clang of cowbells echoing across the mountains. These animals are more than just livestock. They are part of Swiss culture, economy, and even tourism. In cantons like Appenzell or Bern, festivals celebrate cows with flower crowns, painted horns, and colorful parades. Swiss cows produce the milk used for world-famous cheeses like Gruyere and Emmental, as well as the creamy chocolate that made the country legendary. The image of a peaceful brown cow grazing on a green slope with snowy peaks in the background has become a symbol of Swiss identity itself. While not written into law, the cow remains Switzerland's most beloved ambassador. Thank you so much for watching this journey through Switzerland's rare and fascinating facts. I truly hope you discovered things you've never heard before and enjoyed the unique details that make this country so special. If you'd like to see even more, don't forget to check the video description and the other links I've added for you. Please leave your thoughts, corrections, or even more fun facts in the comments. I read and reply to every single one of them. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, support the channel by giving it a like, subscribing, and sharing it with others. It means the world to me.